Hello everyone, this is Leslie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm obviously going to talk to you about something I learned in the Tightwad Gazette, which is a book by Amy Decision. It's falling down. Just so that you know, I do not have a script and I do not edit my videos, so I just kind of speak off the top of my head extemporaneously. And unfortunately, the video I was going to post about this topic today, I noticed was pretty long, so I listened to it and it was so convoluted, so I hope I don't get convoluted today. That's that story. Okay, so today the discussion is something that Amy discusses in her book. It's about extending the time in which you replace items in your home, and it's and the wear and tear you're willing to tolerate on your home items and things in your life. And the example that she gives, I believe, was about getting your kid's haircut. I think she had 6 kids, but so the example she gave was about haircuts. And what she said was that if you get your hair, if you pay, let's say for $20 a haircut per child, and if you get it done every 6 weeks, divide 52 weeks by 6, it comes out to a certain number. And most importantly, if it comes out to $173 a year that you're paying for that one child to get his or her haircut every 6 weeks. If you extend that 2 more weeks to 8 weeks in which that child gets his or her haircut, you're only paying $130 a year for that child to get his or her haircut. And which is a savings of $43 for that one child. If you have 4, 5, 6 children, in my case, that would save me $215 by extending the time at which my children got their haircut from 6 to 8 weeks. You might even be willing to go further than that. That's obviously your decision. All of this is your decision. All of this is something you have to decide what works for you. I'm just giving you things that made a difference for me. When we first purchased our home, I was not particularly concerned. I'm not someone who grew up in like a mansion. So I am willing, so to speak, to tolerate a little bit of wear and tear on my things. If you look behind me in my living room, there is actually paint falling off some of the areas that we have not been able to get done because of the pandemic. Some people would freak out and either do it themselves. I think I'm just going to wait until after the pandemic and get it done. I am pretty tolerant of that kind of stuff. I think also, I don't know people who care about that kind of stuff, so it just doesn't, it's not that big of a deal to me. This is, again, a decision you have to make. I can't make this decision for you. The 3 top areas for me are cars, home, cosmetic and maintenance, and clothing. Those are the big things that you can extend wear and tear. You obviously are not going to extend the time at which you get your dental appointments. That should be every 6 months. Or your regular checkup. That should be every year. Or your, whatever, for females, OBGYN, pap smears, mammograms, all those things. You're not gonna delay the payment of those items. That would be foolish. That is where you say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, literally. You're not going to extend the time in which you get those kind of items done. I'm talking about if you're a 20-year-old and you buy a car, your first car, let's say, hopefully used. But let's say you do buy a new car. For some reason you're 20 and you have the money to do it. Over the course of the next 50 years, you will pay, if you replace your car every 5 years, you will buy 10 new cars, right? That's 5 into 50 is 10. And if you're paying $30,000 a car, you're spending $300,000. If you extend the time in which you are willing to drive a car for up to 10 years, you're only buying 5 new cars at 30. You're spending $150,000 if you buy it new at $30,000. I don't know even if that's possible. But over the course of your lifetime, you are saving $150,000 just on buying of cars. So you can see how this really can add up for big ticket items. The other thing I would say is having to do with home maintenance, especially cosmetic. I have, the example is I have neighbors, God bless them, and you know, this matters to them. It doesn't matter to me. They seem to repaint their shutters every 3 years. I don't think I've repainted my shutters more than once in all the years I've lived in my house. I have a stone home, so I really only have shutters from the street. I think they look fine. If I start to notice that there's like pieces missing, I will get that done. I did notice that there was some moss growing up on my roof last summer, which I think I read once that moss growing on the roof is really bad for the roof. So I will look into having that removed. Have someone come over and power wash it, whatever. Because again, you have to maintain your property. It doesn't make sense not to properly maintain your I'm talking mostly about cosmetic things. The other thing is we have friends around the corner who seem to be resealing their concrete driveway every 2 years. Again, that is just not something that is really super important to me. A few dings and a couple of cracks in my concrete just don't matter to me until it gets really bad. And the big thing is clothing. I think that it's pretty clear if you go to the bins or any secondhand shops that people are way too willing to throw out clothing and dispose of clothing well before the clothing has worn out. People are really into styles. I am not into styles. That is just me, obviously. Some people are really into styles, which is something I'm going to talk about in another video, because I don't think you should be into styles, but everyone has their right to do whatever they want. But the example I want to give, which is for me, is I had this old white t-shirt. It was like comb cotton, 100% cotton, super absorbent, and I would wear it to the gym. And that's when my kids were really little. I would go to the gym, take it off, throw it in the washing machine, wash it that night. It would come out in the morning. I would put it back on. And after the course of 5, 6, 7 years, I mean, I didn't wear it every day, but kind of a lot, like maybe 3, 4 times a week, that it got really beat up. You know, it was being washed every day, and it started getting holes in it, and it got a couple tears. And people would say, why are you still wearing that t-shirt? And I was like, what's wrong? I'm just here to sweat. Like, I'm not meeting the queen. I'm just here to sweat. So I obviously have a very, very high tolerance for wear and tear in my items. I have a lot of really nice sweaters that if they have a hole in it because of a moth or something, I will get that color thread. I found a whole thing at the bins one time, Goodwill outlet bins, they're called the bins, where it was just a whole myriad of different thread colors, and I will pick it out. I will sew it up on the outside. No one is really that close to me, especially now during the pandemic. If they see a little hole, sometimes, especially like on this kind of sweater, you might even think it's part of the fabric, you know, like it's on the outside, you're not seeing it. Anyway, again, I have a very high threshold for holes in my clothes and fixing my clothes and sewing up clothes. I'm amazed by the number of people who would say, oh, that's got a little spot. And I'm like, oh, I'll just, you know, oh, I'll throw a scarf around it, or I'll put a pin on it, or if it's in the back, I'll sew it up. Kids especially, like, kids don't care what they're wearing. But anyway, so that is my quick, hopefully, idea of how for you all to save a lot of money, and that is to be willing to extend the time at which you have buy new cars, do maintenance on your cosmetic, not necessary home repairs. And yeah, so I think you probably got the idea. That's my frugal idea for today. It is April Fool's Day, so I'm not fooling about this. Sorry, I had to. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon. Bye.